All right, chat. What is going on, guys? Hit that applause button. And the explosion and the gong once, just for S and giggles. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Coin Zone here. I'm your host, Crypto with Paul. It is Wednesday, December 3rd. All right, we're back in the office. If you guys stuck with me last week during the holidays, I appreciate you tapping into those live streams. We are back here at the Coin Zone, the usual setup. If you guys are back with me right now, make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and let's cover what we want to cover today, guys. So we are currently waiting for the Orange Man, Mr. Donald Trump, to deliver a speech at the White House. All right. This is the Associated Press that we are live streaming right now on YouTube. Trump makes an announcement. So Donald Trump is set to make an economic announcement today. Now, this could be a big announcement. We don't know what it's going to be, but we might have an inkling. All right. Number one, guys, we will be seeing a new Fed chair. Looks like we have somebody already on the watch list. Mr. What's his name? Kevin Haskell, right? So shout out to our favorite guy, one of our favorite guys, Mr. Hard Hat Powell, Jerome Powell, Mr. Too Late Powell. Bro's getting that kibosh. Bro's getting the... All right. His time has come. Jerome, big guy. You've kind of done a lot of people a disservice in a lot of people's eyes. All right. So we're going to have a new Fed chair. It is December 3rd. Again, in December, we might see more rate cuts. We have a lot of bullish things, a lot of catalysts heading into 2026, guys. We're covering here live on the Coin Zone. So again, make sure to sub to the channel here because we're never missing a beat. We're never skipping a beat like Dr. Dre. All right, that was so stupid. If you guys like stupid puns, you're in the right place. So before we get to Donald Trump, because we are waiting a couple more minutes or so, usually bro drags it out and we sit here for like 30 minutes until he comes on. So maybe that's what's going to happen again. I wouldn't be surprised. But until then, I do want to share a couple other things. So let's talk about AI a little bit. A huge announcement came out yesterday from Amazon, okay, releasing their own chips. We'll get to that in a second. But Mr. Jensen Huang just went on the Joe Rogan Experience, okay, one of the world's richest men. NVIDIA is one of the most richest companies in the entire world. Obviously, we know NVIDIA, chip maker, okay. If you guys don't know that, I don't know. I mean, if you're watching this, I'm sure you know that, right? So let's just get to what Jensen says, because we're talking about Trump delivering a speech. Jensen made a comment about Trump during the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday. So I'm going to lower the background music a little bit here, guys. We'll pull it back up in a second, but let's listen to this clip of Jensen Huang genuinely gassing up Donald Trump, saying that he, quote unquote, saved the cryptocurrency the AI industry. Let's listen to this.
If United States doesn't grow, we will have no prosperity. We can't invest in anything domestically or otherwise. We can't fix any of our problems. If we don't have energy growth, we can't have industrial growth. If we don't have industrial growth, we can't have job growth. It's as simple as that.
Right.
And the fact that he came into office and the first thing that he said was drill, baby, drill. His point is we need energy growth. Without energy growth, we can have no industrial growth. And it saved the AI industry. I got to tell you flat out, if not for his pro-growth energy policy, we would not be able to build factories for AI. We would not be able to build chip factories. We surely won't be able to build supercomputer factories. None of that stuff would be possible. Without all of that, construction jobs would be challenged, right? Electrician jobs, all of these jobs that are now flourishing would be challenged. And so I think he's got it right. We need energy growth. We want to reindustrialize the United States. We need to be back in manufacturing. Every successful person doesn't need to have a PhD. Every successful person doesn't have to have gone to Stanford or MIT. And I think that sensibility is spot on.
Okay. So big statement there from Jensen Huang, guys. And listen, you can feel a certain way about the Orange Man. You're completely entitled to that. I'm not going to gas him up, say this guy's amazing, etc. We're just focusing on the reality of the situation here, which is if we want to see massive growth in the United States, job creation, economic prosperity, GDP growth, etc., The world is gearing up to do that with AI. So the United States being a leader in that is super, super important. And do I believe over the next of the course 5 years or so, we're going to see huge advancements with AI and we're going to see the infrastructure be set up? Absolutely. That is what trillions of dollars is going to right now. Okay. Data centers, setting up the infrastructure, setting up, upgrading the power grid. All these things need to happen. There's a lot of charts that we can look at. All right. Again, guys, if you're just joining, we're currently waiting on Donald Trump to deliver a speech at the White House. And as you guys know, bro normally is late. We end up sitting here rambling for 15 minutes. So I want to be surprised that happens again. So let's take a look at some of these charts before we get to Donald Trump. Okay. AI platform market growth scenarios 2025 to 2030. New AI market data, global AI platforms, software, and managed services that help organizations build, train, deploy, and run AI systems. Market to surge from 24.9 billion in 2024 to 292 billion by 2030. Yeah, guys, that is big growth. Okay, reflecting an approximate 50.8% CAGR in the base scenario. Our latest report maps out bull and bear scenarios driven by key factors like talent, availability, regulation, and infrastructure capacity. Now, if we focus on these things, eliminate the red tape, allow investments to happen to set up the infrastructure and allow this to happen, allow companies and businesses to do their thing, right? We're going to get there, guys. And I firmly believe that. And I firmly believe that AI and artificial intelligence, with maybe cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, these two things, these two sectors are going to be massive. And we're not even talking about quantum computers as well, right? There's all this new technological advancements that will make things pretty insane. Okay. And as we talk about here on this channel all the time, guys, and me specifically, I'm this is my personal take. This is never investment advice on this channel, as you guys know, but it's very fun to pontificate and try to try to understand where the direction of this all is going. And for me, what how I look at this is, how can I benefit from this? How can I benefit from this? How can I try to profit from this, right? Because we see NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, Apple, etc., Tesla, they're all trying to win the race. They're all setting up the infrastructure and getting there, right? So who do you want to win, guys? Do you want just Jeff Bezos? Do you want just Elon Musk? Do you want just Jensen Huang to win from this growth? No. You should want to win as well. I want you to win, right? So what I think you should do is subscribe to us here at the Coinzone. Watch our latest videos. We just did an awesome interview with Sidel. You guys got to go watch this interview. I'm not just gassing it up because it's our channel, but this was such an awesome sit down. This is one of my favorite interviews I did. So shout out to, we're going to switch over tabs real quick. Shout out to Sidel, man. She's a great person to listen to. Entrepreneur, founder of Digital Wealth Group, has taught over 20,000 people. She's made $1 million plus in crypto, retired at age 30. So this is an amazing interview for you guys to go listen to. We talked about BitTensor Tau. Okay, we talked about some AI stuff. We talked about a lot of things, guys. Just realized I didn't have this on my screen. Sick. All right, but here we are, guys. This is Sidel. The last interview you see here, go check out this interview with Sidel. I promise you're not going to be disappointed. This is a freaking phenomenal interview. I almost said fire, but I don't know, 6, 7, right? All these stupid words. We're out here, guys. I can't believe I just did that. It is what it is. All right, back to the other stuff. Let's get to this, guys. This is from TechCrunch. All right, I made a short about this yesterday. You're probably going to see it on our channel at some point soon. But this is a big announcement. Huge announcement. Huge. What a huge announcement. Mr. Jeff Bezos. Huge. All right, Amazon releases an impressive new AI chip and teases a NVIDIA-friendly roadmap. All right, guys, this is from December 2nd. That is yesterday. As you guys know, we are always giving you the latest and up-to-date news here on the Coinzone about everything crypto, AI, etc. related, right? They all intertwine. So let's get to this. Amazon Web Services, which has been building its own AI training chips for years now, just introduced a new version known as Trainium 3 that comes with some impressive specs. All right. Let's just break down to this a little bit more. Zoom in. Okay. So this is big right here. Let's focus on this. AWS says the system is more than 4 times faster with 4 times more memory, not just for training, but for delivering AI apps at peak demand. I mean, that's freaking huge, guys. As you guys know, I've been talking about, what we can do on the Akash network and with lending your GPU power to earn passive income that way, potentially. People do this with Render, BitTensor, etc. But there's many platforms, Salad AI. You have whole people on YouTube channels who have whole ass companies, who have, instead of maybe ASIC miners now, or instead of maybe, GPU mining Bitcoin or whatever it is, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, etc. Whatever these people want to do, Monero. Well, there's a new way to use these GPUs now, guys, and that is AI compute lending, right? So the name of the game is exactly what we're focusing on here. Speed and memory in some cases for some platforms could be huge. But the AI training, again, guys, the word right here, demand. The demand for this AI training, right, and GPU lending is only going to grow an insane amount over the next 5 years or so. I genuinely believe that. All right. So, again, what can we do, guys? Well, let's go back to Amazon. Amazon knows what they're doing. They're getting in the mix. They're making their own product now. Now, if NVIDIA chips, right, H100, RTX, whatever, not for gaming now, but also this is a new landscape. And we've seen people buy GPUs to set up mining rigs, etc., for such a long time now. But I don't expect that to slow down at all. GPU mining has, come and go. I've watched a bunch of YouTube channels in the past couple of years about the profitability of GPU mining, when it comes to Bitcoin or, like I said, Salad AI. There's new platforms that emerge. But again, guys, this is an entirely new sector here now with AI compute lending. All right. And again, this is not slowing down. I think it's super important sector that's going to be emerging here in the future. And that's pretty crazy to me. The growth that we want to focus on, like I said, again, I'm trying to take advantage of it. And I want you guys to make sure, this is what's happening. We see Jensen Huang on the Joe Rogan Experience. Yeah, crazy. Let's look at some more stats here, guys. All right. You want to look at top search terms in November of 2025. So that is last month. What were some of the top search terms? Keyword searches on atom.com. AI led the way by far, guys. Okay. AI. To your average family member on Thanksgiving, they probably think AI is a joke. Oh, I heard Grok says stupid things. It's a bubble. We actually just covered something recently. We did a short on the channel yesterday. You might see it soon. AI platforms started trading against one another. Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. Guess what, guys? They're all in the red. They're all in the red, guys. Are we supposed to be trusting these things right now? Like, insane graph that I saw yesterday. Go make sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube. You'll probably see that short on the channel coming soon. Pretty crazy though, guys. So a lot is going on with AI, good and bad. But the average person, I feel, and this is me personally, Chief the Yorkie, what's good, brother? Thanks for tapping in. Always good to see you on this Wednesday hump day evening, waiting for Donald Trump live, talking about AI. Chief the Yorkie, man. Just love to see it. I just love the consistency. Like, man, we gotta give you a gift or something, man. You are like a freaking Coinzone OG. This is amazing. I love you guys, man. This is awesome. I love doing this. Make sure to interact with me more because I love it, and I'll chop it up with you. So almost 500 with you guys on stream with me right now. Don't be shy, guys. Interact with me. I love this. Okay, let's get it. If you have any questions on AI or AI cryptos, etc., I'll talk through it. Love to talk through it. Let's get it. Yes, Chief the Yorkie watches the shorts and the videos as well. Love to see it. But this is what's going on, guys. AI is slowly taking over. Okay. If you guys are just joining the stream now, we are waiting on Donald Trump to emerge from the White House. They should call it the Orange House now. All right. Because, I mean, he's kind of orange. Right. So We're waiting for Donald Trump to make a speech on the White House. Economic speech. Will he mention AI? I want to be surprised. As a software developer, AI has completely changed my daily job. Me too. I use Grok a lot. I use these platforms a lot. They help tremendously. But I still think the average person. I was talking to my aunt, over Thanksgiving, and some people just don't get it, man. It's like, we looked at something recently. Paul Krugman, economist, didn't get the .com bubble right. Didn't get Bitcoin right. Bro made a speech, I think early 2000s, late 1990s, maybe it was, where he said, the internet's a passing fad. This is nothing. Just recently, still, not even 10 years ago, Paul Krugman, Bitcoin's a passing fad, whatever. It's that doesn't make sense. You sure about that, brother? Listen, all I'm going to say is the average person and some even economists, right? Even a lot of these economists who were wrong about tariffs and inflation. Sometimes even, Jimmy Cramer. We watch The Squawk on the Street. I like it. I was watching The Squawk the other day. I like Jim Cramer, right? But bro doesn't always give the same advice. And that's not to say I'm a genius. But hey, guys, we're just trying to focus on what is obviously the most trending terms. What is the economy focusing on? According to Jensen Huang, Donald Trump saved the AI industry. So there's a lot going on right now. These are things that we need to focus on because in the next 2, 5, 10 years, AI will impact all of our lives. And I'm not even talking about the elimination of jobs, which we're already seeing. Dell announced layoffs. Other companies, tech companies, announce layoffs. That's going to happen. We're going to see that. Just like any new innovation, you're going to see a loss of jobs. But then what happens is eventually they replace those jobs and it comes back even stronger. Chief the Yorkie, it's funny because people I know think crypto is a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. Well, you know what, Chief the Yorkie? This is something we covered months ago, and this video clip has resurfaced again. Do you know why people think that way? Because the media is disgusting and they just spit and spew propaganda. And my example right now that I am referencing is Rachel Maddow. If you guys continue to listen to these dinosaur bought and paid for, just not individuals with no integrity, like Rachel Maddow, like a Don Lennon, whatever the hell. Rachel Maddow went on TV, what was it, last month at this point now, and literally said, quote unquote, I'm no expert, but cryptocurrency is an old school flat out Ponzi scheme. Right. So you start off by saying I'm not an expert, and then you go and make a completely bewildering, not even accurate remark. You're just misleading the average person like my aunt that I'm talking about will watch that and say, oh, crypto's a scam, AI is nonsense, when in reality, it is the exact opposite. And that's how people's minds get controlled. What's going to happen because of that? A loss and a missing out on possibly the biggest investment opportunities in you and my lifetimes because Rachel Maddow says it's a scam. Even though people like me and Discover Crypto and hundreds of other really, really good, maybe not hundreds, but really good crypto channels are giving you guys sources of truth. It's not just the Coinzone, guys, although I'm obviously going to advocate for us. If you haven't subbed yet, do it. But listen, guys, I don't mind if you go listen elsewhere, guys. There's a ton of great channels that I've learned from over the years. And, if you have young entrepreneurs whose businesses, the success of their businesses are heavily made up on their predictions of these things, I'm going to trust them. I think they're more tapped in than Rachel Maddow is. Okay. And I don't think individuals, like a Discover Crypto, like a Crypto with Paul on the Coinzone, are bought and paid for and are going to shill you things unnecessarily and be wrong about it.
Is that
all right. It looks like Donald Trump is approaching. Maybe we have an ad.
To the bottom
so
where it's
let's get to this, guys. We talked about
magnified.
AI. I
So
appreciate you
can
guys
see
for
things
tapping
close,
in.
I can see
Donald
them
Trump
at
is
a
about to
distance,
deliver
I can take them off
an
and on.
economic speech at the
They
White House.
are incredible, guys.
Maybe not. They gassed me up. That was just a silly commercial getting them ad revenue. Love to see it. You're welcome. All right. We got some more. Let's put that background music back up a little bit. Chat, if you guys have any questions, continue letting me go. Is Discover Crypto Bitcoin's old channel? Yes, it is. I used to be a big fan of Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. When I first got into crypto, I found Bitcoin, and I was like, "This is really cool." I like this guy. I like the live streams. You know, I'm still a big fan of DZ. I'm a big fan of Discover Crypto. I think they do a great job on the channel there, guys. But yeah, just very sad to see. I'm not gonna bash Ben Armstrong. I hope the best for that guy. It's really sad to see. I hope he's doing okay. But yes, the Oracle, great question. That is what happened. Funny, what really is a Ponzi scheme is the fiat dollar. 100%. We're hitting the applause button for that one again. Chief the Yorkie, absolutely. There's a funny meme that, you guys might have seen that's going around, and it says, bought this, shitcoin. At 2020, it's down like 50%, and it's a picture of the US dollar, which is funny because it's true too, right? The purchasing power of the US dollar. I'm actually you're gonna see another short today. I found a graph today that I wanted to make a clip about, but it just goes to show you guys, and maybe I retweeted it, maybe I can find it. Let's see if I can find it real quick. But the graph is the ungodly amount of national debt just continuing to increase every day. And then here it is. Look at this, guys.
There to think about.
This is what we're fighting up against. This is why Bitcoin is as powerful and as successful as it is. The national debt will continue to increase. Let me say this, guys. Let me make this clear, guys. The government will not stop printing money. They can't. People thought Donald Trump maybe could do something about it. Saw this one yesterday. Chief the Yorkies tapped in just like all of us. Love to see it. But listen, guys. The governments will not stop printing money. People thought Trump maybe was going to put the kibosh on it. And then we have the big, beautiful bill. And that's why him and Elon Musk had a big falling out, because Elon wanted to do something about the national debt and the interest that we pay on the national debt. And he disagreed with Donald Trump passing the big, beautiful bill because he's spending a lot of money over the course of the next 10 years. Right? But to play devil's advocate, what is Trump's plan? Okay. Trump's plan is to grow our way out of the national debt. Now, can we do that? I think we could. And again, this is exactly what we're focusing on right now. What's his plan to grow out of the national debt? It's with AI, guys. It's with AI and blockchain. Shout out to Fred Krueger. He's got a good channel. Says some things I don't agree with, but it is what it is. We're not mean here on the channel, guys. We don't discriminate. All right, we're nice. Look at this graph, guys. The U.S. national debt, right, compared to AI growth and Bitcoin. Look at AI, guys. So Donald Trump bringing in David Sachs and this whole team of geniuses to help with AI, I think it's phenomenal. And again, right on brand with the media trying to brainwash and manipulate your minds. What do? The New York Times and Washington Post puts out a hit piece on David Sachs just the other day. And the backlash on social media was so bad that they had to put out a statement the same day of the article. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, guys. David Sachs is a phenomenal individual in my eyes, okay? Again, this is my opinion, but I don't see anything wrong with the guy. Shout out to All In Podcast with Chamath. The guy is a public servant at this point. I don't even think he's taking a salary helping Trump and the squad setting up the AI infrastructure. And what happens? The media gets a hold of him and says, "Oh, this guy's a POS. He's a Trumpy," and they're all enriching themselves. It's unbelievable, guys. And again, like, you go back to the average person in your family, and then they spew that back to you like it's complete fact. It's sad. And this is the world that we live in, guys. But yeah, back to this, back to this chart, guys. Just take a look at this chart, guys. So if Donald Trump's plan is to grow our way out of the national debt over the next 10 years via AI, blockchain, technology, etc., if we do it correctly, right? We're getting $20 trillion of investments into the U.S. right now. We're going to start seeing that make its way into the system soon. Trump said last month, 2 months ago, maybe in October now, in 6 to 8 months from now, I think he said we're going to see an economic boom. Many people are expecting 2026 to be a very positive year. But again, what do I see? I see the average media station. Oh, 2026 recession odds. Blah, blah, blah. King, what's up, brother? Love to see you back, tapping back in. But yeah, guys, this is what we're up against. And I'm not saying that we're not going to see a recession next year. We entirely could. Kalshi has the odds. Go check them out. You can bet on it, make money on it, lose money on it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's way too many catalysts. Not only a new Fed chair, or rate cuts, a crap ton of liquidity, that we just saw December 1st, more liquidity to come in 2026. What do we see with liquidity cycles, guys? The banana zone. Shout out to Raoul Pal. All right. Wasn't I right? It has been 26 minutes and we're still waiting for Donald Trump. Bro just loves to casually Trump, sir, your speech is in 2 minutes. I'll be there in 30. This is how it is. Sir, President Trump, you have a speech to make in 3 minutes. I'll be there in 40. I have to help Melania first. I don't know what he's doing. What is he doing, bro? We're waiting live. Back to it, guys. If you're just joining the stream now. President Trump to make an announcement on the economy. So, big news. Chat, let me know in the comments. What is he going to mention? What is Donald Trump going to mention during this speech at the White House? All right, let me didn't realize that the logo behind me, the light behind me was not on. We're going to make sure this is on so it looks cooler. Give me 1 second. And we're back. Okay, now the light behind me is on. It looks cooler. We're locked in. Yes, we do. We are doing great. We're doing great. What a great economy. The best. Frankly, the best economy. Yeah, that is Donald Trump. So maybe let's look at some more metrics here in the meantime. Best we've ever seen. Let's look at some more metrics in the meantime about AI. All right, now this is straight from Coin Bureau. All right, shout out to those guys. Like I said, guys, we're not mean people here. We don't discriminate. All right, shout out to Coin Bureau, guys. They do a great job. Coinbase's open payment protocol, X402, just passed 60 million in transactions, and Solana payment flow hit 380K, surging 750% in a week. Something big is happening. Okay, we broke it down. AI agents is the key here, guys, are taking over payments. You have a ton of different use cases with AI here. Nice. I'm holding some CMC, Christian McCaffrey. I'm just kidding. That's not what that stands for. 20. It's solid so far. Very good, King. Love to see it. Man, we're going to hit that applause button for you guys once again here. Very nice. We love to see it. Yeah, guys. A lot going on here, guys. And, chat, let me know in the comments, too, in the meantime. Jensen Huang, we just played that post at the beginning of this stream. Talked about just going on the Joe Rogan Experience and saying that Donald Trump single-handedly saved the AI industry. That is a big statement. Okay. Now, the new era of news is here as well. This is big news as well, guys. Let's just go over to this real quick. We've talked about prediction markets tons of times. Kalshi's teaming up with CNN, guys. Kalshi, Polymarket. This is a cool ad right here, guys. Kalshi is taking over. Prediction markets are taking over and more accurate than even the news is. Okay, perfect example. You want a good example of this? We made a short about it yesterday. Everything I'm talking about, I made clips on. You'll see them soon. But listen, guys. Kalshi had the odds of Donald Trump winning 15 days before the election and called it to the T, while other individuals thought it was way closer than it was, right? So the Kalshis of the world, the poly markets of the world, this is huge what is going on right now, guys. Absolutely huge. So, but why is that? We're talking about AI, we're talking about this, that. Kalshi's huge, guys. Okay. Now, also another person that you can listen to talks about AI extensively and I think does a great job, Anthony Pompliano. Okay. Anthony Pompliano does a great job breaking everything down from an unbiased standpoint, but also from kind of a based standpoint, which is sad because just delivering factual news, is considered based now because the mainstream media will not deliver you the same news. So shout out to Anthony Pompliano. Yeah. Well, AI is big and Donald Trump will be speaking. We're getting to it, guys. Finally, we are making our way to the Oval Office where Trump will be speaking. Let's lower that music. Let's get right into this live. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. This is the Coin Zone. I'm Crypto with Paul. Make sure to like this video, guys. We are now live with Donald Trump about to deliver a speech on the economy. Thanks for tapping in. Make sure to like this video. Let's listen in.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. You all set? Well, we're talking about cafe standards, a very big deal, very important today. My administration has taken historic action to lower costs for American consumers, protect American auto jobs, and make buying a car much more affordable for countless American families and also safer. We're officially terminating Joe Biden's ridiculously burdensome, horrible, actually, cafe standards that imposed expensive restrictions and all sorts of problems, gave all sorts of problems to automakers. And we're not only talking about here, we're talking about outside of our country because nobody could do it. Nobody wanted to do it, and it was ridiculous, very expensive. It put tremendous upward pressure on car prices, combined with the insane electric vehicle mandate. Biden's burdensome regulations helped cause the price of cars to soar more than 25%. And in one case, they went up 18% in 1 year. Today, we're taking one more step to kill the Green New Scam. It's part of the greatest scam, probably, well, other than Russia, and a few others I could name. The greatest scam in American history, the Green New Scam. And it's a quest to end the gasoline-powered car. This is what they wanted to do, even though we have more gasoline than any other country by far. And people want the gasoline car. They want everything. They want electric. They want to have lots of alternatives, but they do want the gasoline car. Right now, it's leading away by a lot. The car business is a very interesting business, but we want to keep it that way. I want to thank Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, Deputy Transportation Secretary Stephen Bradbury, as well as CEO of Ford, Jim Farley. Jim, where is Jim? Let's see. Hi, Jim. Congratulations. You're doing a great job. CEO of Stellantis, Antonio Filosa. Thank you very much, Antonio. Chairman of the National Automobile Dealers Association, Tom Castrito.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Tom. Great to have you. And Manager, General Motors, Orient Plant, John Urbanek.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Great to have you guys here. And you're going to say a few words in a minute about how ridiculous this was, but we've just freed you up. So you're going to have a good day and have a good number of years. Thanks as well to Senator Shelley Moore Capito, Ted Cruz, Kevin Kramer, Marcia Blackburn, Eric Schmidt, and Bernie Marino, as well as Representatives Sam Graves, Vern Buchanan, Mike Kelly, Roger Williams, Lisa McClain, and Troy Balderson. All great people. These are great people. And I know there's a lot of support long beyond the people that are here. We had tremendous support on this. From day one, I've been taking action to make buying a car more affordable. I signed an executive order to end the unfair, expensive electric vehicle mandate. As you know, we had to have an electric car within a very short period of time, even though there was no way of charging them and lots of other things. It would have cost $5 trillion to build the charging plants. And as you know, in certain parts of the Midwest, they spent to build 9 chargers, they spent $8 billion. So that wasn't working out too well. That was done before me, by the way. I wouldn't have let it go forward. We're canceling the EPA's absurd tailpipe emission standards, one of the most important things that I've never had a group of people come to me more powerfully and really just devastated that they had to do it. It was killing them than the automobile manufacturers, the tailpipe emission standards. And I can tell you, your people at Ford were coming to me all the time, and they were saying, like, please, it doesn't do anything, and it's killing us. And it's driving the cost through the roof. And we revoked Biden's emissions waiver for California so that California communists could not regulate the automobile industry and ruin the entire nation of automobiles. And they were doing that too. But we have that now under control also with your governor, who's got much more than he can control. Now, under the new rules being issued today by Secretary Duffy, the Department of Transportation will rescind the Biden fuel economy prices. And I hate to say that because they were really not economy. They were really, they were anti-economy. They were horrible what they were doing to the costs and actually making the car much worse. But these policies forced automakers to build cars using expensive technologies that drove up costs, drove up prices, and made the car much worse. The action is expected to save the typical consumer at least $1,000 off the price of a new car, and we think substantially more than that. Under the Trump administration, $70 billion are now being invested in the American auto industry. Ford has announced it will invest $5 billion across its Kentucky and Michigan plants. Is that a correct statement?
That's right.
That's a lot, $5 billion. You could do more. Creating at least 4,000 new jobs. Stellantis announced that it will invest $13 billion to expand its U.S.-based manufacturing by more than 50% and open new manufacturing facilities across the country. And I think a big part of that is also the tariffs. Because of tariffs, they're coming in. Not only the automobile industry, AI, we're leading China in AI, we're leading everybody in AI, we're leading everybody in everything. We have the hottest country right now. I will tell you, a lot of political people behind me, great political people, very successful political people. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. 1 year ago, we had a dead country, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it started from November 5th, but it also started when we did the tariffs, and we've had tremendous support on the tariffs. It's bringing in trillions of dollars of wealth. It's bringing in national security. And I've stopped 8 wars, and of the 8 wars, 5 of them have been because of tariffs and trade. So they're very important. And General Motors plans to invest $4 billion as it brings its manufacturing back to the United States from Mexico. After falling by 5% under Biden, U.S. auto production has surged by 10% so far this year. You know, I won the auto workers vote, but now even the head of the auto workers said Trump is the greatest president we've ever seen. And he happens to be right about that. But we're protecting our auto workers, and we're making it easier for every family to afford high quality cars. In other words, we're bringing automobiles back and the manufacturing of automobiles back into this country. We lost 52% over the years, 52% of our automobile manufacturing. You see it, closed factories all over the place. Now they're all opening up. They're being, in most cases, they're being knocked down, and new ones are being built in their place. And a big beneficiary is the state of Michigan, but South Carolina, even states that didn't really do too much with the automobiles, they're opening up plants. It's been amazing. So between automobile plants, AI plants, and plants of every other nation, really every other type, including chips, we're going to have a big percentage of the chip market very soon, not because of the CHIPS Act, which was horrible and ridiculous, where we just gave these companies billions and billions of dollars and they just kept the money, but because of what we did with tariffs. they have to build here, otherwise they're going to have to pay tariffs. They won't be able to do business in the United States. And we're going to have a big percentage of the chip industry. As of about a year ago, 2 years ago, we had none. And now we're going to have a very big percentage when it all finishes out. So I'd like to ask Secretary Duffy to speak, and then Mr. Farley, and then Filosa, and Urbanik, and Castrita. And also we're going to ask some of our political leaders to speak, because let me tell you, they went out of their way. This was not easy. And people were brainwashed. This is a green new scam. And people were paying too much for a car that didn't work as well. And now they're going to have a great car that's going to be environmentally friendly, but it's going to cost you a lot less, and it's going to work great. All of the nonsense is being taken out of the cars. So, Secretary Duffy, could you say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President. So yesterday at the cabinet meeting, the president was talking about affordability, and the way that Democrats talk about affordability is a lie. Today is a perfect example of that. So these CAFE standards used what was contrary to the law. The Congress set a rule that says you have to look at combustion engines. Biden and Buttigieg actually did an analysis using
Edge.
I'm sorry. Edge used EVs and hybrids to come up with a 62 mile an hour per gallon standard, which I think the car companies will tell you is completely unattainable. So they spent a lot of money on technology trying to meet the unattainable standard, driving up the cost of a car, number one. And then number two, if they couldn't meet the unattainable standard, they had to trade for carbon, costing billions of dollars, and again, driving up the price of the car. So, Mr. President, what Democrats were doing, were not making cars more affordable. They're making them less affordable. The consequence of that is going to be that more Americans can afford to buy a new car, which means they're going to be safer on the roads because of all the great new technology we have that save lives. So we'll have less death on American roads. These rules are going to allow the automakers to make vehicles that Americans want to purchase, not vehicles that Joe Biden and Buttigieg wants them to build, which is important. But also, this is important for American jobs. The more cars we sell, the more jobs we have in this country. And so this is jobs, this is freedom, and this is common sense, Mr. President. So thank you for your leadership. And I appreciate what the Senate did with the big, beautiful bill and what we've done here today. So thank you
very much. Big, beautiful bill is it's something. It's amazing. Wait till the people see the benefits and the lower taxes that they're going to have, lower regulations. So how about Ford?
Mr. President and Secretary, all the important lawmakers here, competitors, today is a victory of common sense and affordability. We're very proud of Ford to be the number one auto producer in our country. 80% of the vehicles we sell here, we make in our country.
Right.
And we never left, unlike many of our competitors. We're the number one exporter, and we have the most auto factory workers. And this CAFE standard that is aligned with customer demand is the right move for a lot of reasons. We were number 2 last year in EV sales. We were number 3 in hybrid, and we're the leading brand for combustion. We believe that people should be able to make a choice, as you said, Mr. President, and we will invest more in affordable vehicles. This allows us to invest in affordable vehicles made in the U.S., which we will take the lead on, and will allow us to make vehicles more affordable. So thank you for making this step for all of you.
Thank you very much. One of the other things we're doing, it's separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small. They're really cute. And I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. If you take a look, Honda, some of the Japanese companies do a beautiful job, but we're not allowed to make them in this country. And I think you're going to do very well with those cars. So we're going to approve those cars. Would you like to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working. So even when he's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight in the States. But he gave me the directive to clear the regulations on this, which we have. And so if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive, and it really gives people a chance to have a car, have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great. And so you car companies start thinking about that. I think it's going to be a tremendous market. Please, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great day for us at Stellantis today, because it's the day where we see CAFE regulation reconciled with real customers' demand. That's why at Stellantis we decided to invest through Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler $13 billion in the next 4 years, increasing production by 50%, delivering to the market 5 new vehicles, and creating 5,000 additional jobs. That's because we believe in what you, Secretary Duffy, and all your team is doing in this country. We believe in growth, and we are ready to invest even more. So thank you very much. Thank you very much also for this great news of the K-Cars, which we are very interested in. And we are very looking forward to work with Secretary Duffy, your team, in the future for the next steps. Thank you very much.
We'll get ready for those cars because we've
We will.
already cleared the way. You can start right away.
We will.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please.
Mr. President, thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
Thank you very much.
We support your leadership for this issue that is so important to the auto industry. I'm here representing the hard-working men and women of Orion Assembly in Michigan.
Right.
The facility, our manufacturing facility there is currently going through a retool so that we can build additional U.S. manufactured pickup trucks and full-size sport utilities for our customers. And we're so excited about that. And thank you for your support. Secretary Duffy, thank you as well.
And this is largely coming in because of the tariff situation. We're taking in trillions of dollars, actually, trillions, and we have so many other advantages. But these great companies are coming back to the United States. They left the United States. If somebody was sitting behind this desk that knew what they were doing, that wouldn't have happened. They would have said, well, you can sell your car here, but we're going to put 100% tariff. And you would have never had the auto industry leave. Again, we lost more than 50% of our auto industry. And now it's all coming back. And I think it's coming back. Ultimately, it's going to be bigger. I believe it's going to be bigger than it was before, actually. But it's an honor to have you here. And please, would you like to say
Mr.
something?
President?
Thank you very much.
Tom Castrator, sir. I'm the chairman of National Automobile Dealers that represent 18,000 dealers in the country, along with 3,000 heavy-duty truck dealers. And what the actions that you've done as the president and your administration is definitely going to save our customers money. And you made your promises that let the consumer buy what they want, sir, and you delivered on that. And the other thing that you delivered was your promise in the big, beautiful bill, the tax deduction on loans that had gone away some years back.
Right.
And now that makes it affordable for our buyers that can save money through that loan of the tax, anywhere from several hundred to several thousand. So again, sir, on behalf of all the dealers and our customers, we appreciate what you and your administration have done, and of course, our legislative support as well, Mr. President.
Thank you. That's very nice. And I'm glad you brought that up. We're allowing people to deduct. So if you go out and buy a car, and this is for middle income, but for lower income, no matter what, they never really had deductions. You know, rich people like deductions, but middle income people were never really afforded deductions, which is very unfair. You borrow money to buy a car, you're allowed to deduct the interest from your income tax. And I think that's going to be one of the most, in terms of your industry, I think it's going to be the biggest thing that we're talking about, maybe even bigger than CAFE standards. People are going to be able to borrow money, deduct it. So it's going to cost them essentially half. And
It'll help. Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be a tremendous factory. They've never had a chance to do that before. And that's all done. That's all in the great, big, beautiful bill. So it's really terrific. I'd like to ask a couple of our political leaders to say, because you guys have done an amazing job. This was something that was going to be very tough. We had to fight lunatics to get it done, and they had no answers. You know, it's you just present them with the facts, and they just say, well, we're just not going to vote for it. They couldn't talk about it, but they didn't want to vote. I see Mike Kelly, my friend back there, who's been with me from day one, right?
Yep.
What do you have to say, Mike?
Well, you know what? I think you hit the key. Everybody's talking about the same thing.
In
America-
look at the way they like each other. You can see, there's no hatred between these two guys.
Yeah, as long as I beat his price, we're friends. No, but
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder, and you wouldn't believe the kind of apps that people are creating. Smart nutrition apps, inventory trackers, onboarding tools, you name it. And if the only thing stopping me from making the app is the idea, why not build an app that gives me endless app ideas? So let's make it. Pro tip, I draft the full app spec in ChatGPT, and then I drop the prompts directly into Base 44. It gives me
What you've done is unlock the most ridiculous statute that ever came in with cafe. It wasn't done by the Congress. It wasn't done. It was done by President Obama after the courts failed on it. So thank you for doing what you're doing. You're making America great again in every single way. Thank you.
Thank you. It's going to be so big for the auto manufacturers. People aren't even going to believe the impact this has. You know, Mike used to come to my rallies all the time. And we'd have a rally. And it was like 0 degrees. It was freezing. Everyone. And he'd sit there without a shirt on. And I didn't need that, you know. I didn't say it was pretty, but he would sit there in the cold and he didn't mind it at all. I said, that's one tough cookie, right?
You lit it up. You know, we didn't need any heat. You were there.
We had a good time. We had a lot of great rallies.
We
right?
did. We did.
Pennsylvania. Please, Mr. Congressman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I represent the dealer body. I'm a dealer, and we got some other dealers in here, but this is huge for the dealer body, the local car dealer. We're going to be able to sell what the customer wants. The manufacturer's going to make what the customer wants. We've got all kinds of options to the big bill. It's going to enable people, as we talked about, to deduct payments and so forth.
All right, guys. So we heard from a ton of different individuals. Let's just kick it back to us here on the live stream. I appreciate you guys for tapping in and joining. So this was particularly, as you guys heard, more about the automobile industry. AI was mentioned a couple times. Chips were mentioned a couple times. It is very positive to see that chip production will be coming here because, again, these chips will be used in cars, cell phones, so many things. So many things. This is huge. All right. So, I mean, obviously, all these individuals are very grateful for what they're doing for the automobile industry, but for us, for here in Crypto Land, not too much to take away from this. But always good to hear from the president. Bro is comical. Of course, has to gas himself up a couple times during his speeches. Is that Kevin Haskett? Let's actually get back to it. That might be Kevin, SEC Chair New.
Sir, I think that there's a massive macroeconomic benefit to what we're doing today. And the way to think about it is that the car that has the best gas mileage that you can buy that has only gasoline is a Honda that gets about 36 miles per gallon. Joe Biden wanted to make every car on average be above 50. So there's no car made in the US that you would be able to sell 2 years from now, 3 years from now under that rule. Because what he wanted to do was make everybody have an electric car, as you know. But here's the thing, that if everybody had an electric car, then nobody would be buying gasoline anymore, and they'd have to take all the miles that they travel.
Is that Kevin Hassett? I can't even tell. It looks like him.
The production of electricity in the U.S. by 25% over the next couple of years if they had their way. And so you've really stopped a massive disruption for the economy with this. So thank you.
That wasn't the main reason, and yet it certainly is a main reason. You wouldn't have been able to do it even if you wanted it. It's just so crazy. That was the main
Yeah. All right, guys. I can't tell if that is Kevin Hassett or not. Guys, look at this. Is that not what bro just looked like who was just speaking? Either way, Kevin Hassett is the supposed... All right, let's just go back to this here. The Fed chair to replace Jerome Powell. Now, I know Trump did want it to be Scott Bessent, but he declined. He likes his current position. Glad to see that. I think Scott Bessent is exactly where he needs to be. But yes, it's good to always hear from the president of the United States here as we're covering this. The automobile industry was the topic of conversation. The focus just now, we heard about chips a little bit. But that basically is it for the stream, guys. I don't feel like we'll be missing out on much more. Mainly just about cars. Again, we heard from chips, but that's about it, guys. I appreciate you guys for tapping in for another live stream here. Again, we talked about Jensen Huang on the Joe Rogan Experience beforehand. We talked about Amazon now creating their own chips to rival NVIDIA. This is huge. They are supposedly faster, more memory, up to 4x, right? Let's just get back to it and find that again. Okay, AWS says their system is 4x faster, 4x more memory. Yeah, this is huge, guys. Very big. Very big. Love to see it. But that's pretty much it. As you guys know, I am Crypto with Paul. You're watching the Coin Zone. If you guys enjoyed this live stream and you've been with me, just do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support. Like this video as well. Let us know you're here. And next time, if you want to join, again, guys, interact with me. I love chopping it up with you guys. I love the interactions. So keep it coming. We'll be back tomorrow for another live. Stay tuned. Go watch our interview. Okay, one more time. Go watch our interview with Sidel. This is a fire interview, guys. I hate that I just said fire. I'm sorry. I'm going to put this on the screen real quick. Go watch our interview with Sidel, guys. We talked about a ton of amazing things. She retired, became a millionaire by crypto by age 30. So if you want to learn, go check that video out. Once again, I appreciate you guys for tapping in. You're watching the Coin Zone, Crypto with Paul, Chief the Yorkie, all you guys, King, the Oracle. Always appreciate you guys tapping in. Love to see it. We'll be back tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Take care.